This is the Creative Spirits Podcast. I'm your host, Cheryl Benji. Thank you for joining me again. I've been gone for a bit. Um, there was a lot to adjust to after summer ended and the school year began. So I'm getting back into the groove of things. I'm sure, like many of you are, especially if you have kids. It's nice to have a schedule again, even though I miss the summer fun um and sometimes not always so fun because it's, trying to keep, especially my daughter who um she's still not old enough to do things on her own. So there's a lot of Mom, can you take me to my friend's house? And can you take us out? Can you this? So, which I don't mind, but it kind of throws your schedule off, right? So, anyway, I decided to start another art journey. I love doing these journeys. I used to call them challenges, but one of my friends who's also an artist is all about wording. And she said, why don't you call it something better than a challenge? Because a challenge may seem like it's hard, and it's not hard. So it's more like a journey that I'm going through with my art and my creativity. And I highly recommend it. I have done these journeys for sometimes 100 days, sometimes less. And I once did them where every day I would sit down and paint a new piece of art, which would just be on watercolor paper. And I would um, maybe spend an hour and a half on it. And it really helped with releasing a lot of different emotions, and also, I mean, it's just therapeutic. And it also helped with the creative juices, getting them to flow. I posted something in my Creative Spirits group, which is on Facebook if you ever want to join. If you haven't yet, it's a wonderful group full of different creatives, and it's a very safe space. And so I shared a quote on there, and I'll share it with you right now. So it says, artistic block feels much more like a wall that comes between you and your soul's expression, sometimes with such force that the world isn't quite right again until that feeling is lifted and your creativity has returned. And I asked, do you believe in artist block, or is that a myth? And I don't know. I have different feelings about that. Um, is it something more psychological? Is there really an artist block? But if there is, it's something that gets me through it, at least in my experience, um, has been to do these art journeys and to sit down at my easel, or in front of my watercolor paper, whatever it is, and just start and do something, even if it's just drawing a flower, or um, putting some paint on paper. So uh, I think the action is what gets you through that quote unquote block. Um, and this time I decided I would do an art journey on uh, creating my dreams and painting my dreams. So, something I would love to experience is to go to France and go to Monet's home and see his garden and see his work in person. I have seen some of his pieces in person, but I want to go see those big panels and just experience that. And yeah, that's something. And I've always been a big fan of Monet, and so I've been creating pieces that are um, similar to his work, and uh, I'm not copying his work, but I am just um, creating that vision for myself, uh, and painting um, his garden and uh, what it looks like, and the pond and the beautiful lilies, and um, yeah, and the colors, all the colors that he uses, pastels, and it's been a nice experience so far, and just creating it makes me feel like I'm getting closer and closer to that dream of experiencing that. So I encourage you to do the same and not limit yourself to what is possible and the potential of what you can have in your life. And what better way to do that than to paint it and to create it physically, uh, not just have it in your mind. Because it's wonderful to envision it and imagine it. But I feel like when we put it out into the physical world, it and we see it, it is it we get to have it closer to us, and we get to see um, our vision in a more clear way. So that's my story with the journey that I started. And I know another artist who did 100-day journey after listening to my podcast. And it was so wonderful to see everything she was creating every day. And she does digital art. And she just grew so much as an artist. And she went over the 100 days. And it just became a habit for her. And I think that's also another good goal is for it to become a habit, for uh, for you to just keep going no matter what the day brings you, you are going to get in front of that easel, in front of that piece of paper, and you're going to accomplish this today. So, and that's why I love doing these, because there are times where I myself feel discouraged, or I just don't feel like it. Like you get into these moods where like, I just don't feel like it. But when you commit to something, you do it whether or not you feel like it or not. And you sit there and you take action. And then those feelings come where you do feel like painting, you do feel like creating, and then you feel better about yourself and that you've accomplished something on that day. So try it out, and I hope you enjoy the process. And another thing I was going to talk about was the beauty of imperfection, the perfection of imperfection. I was talking to one of my artist friends, and she showed me this painting of hers and she said, it's just terrible, but I'm going to show it to you anyway because it reminds me of something you painted. And I saw it and I said, I don't think it's terrible at all. I think it's imperfectly perfect. I think that's what I said. And it reminded me of a Van Gogh and his work. Like there were a lot of imperfections in his work. And I just loved it. And even when I look at people's faces and their profiles, I notice the imperfections and I notice the beauty in it. You know, so much of our culture now, I see women trying to have that ideal look of the small nose and the big lips and, um, the big eyes, whatever it is. And everybody's starting to look the same. And that uniqueness is becoming lost in this culture. And as an artist, I appreciate seeing the unique beauty in each individual. And, when I do my body art and I'm painting someone's face, um, I notice uh, everything about their face because I'm so close to them and I am painting over their nose or their, cheekbone. And in my eyes, I see every part of their face that's beautiful. And where they might say, oh, my nose is a little big, or I don't like this about my face, but, I've done it myself. Yet maybe the person looking at you only sees the beauty. And so that's another thing I encourage when you're creating is to embrace the imperfections and everything it brings, and on purpose make it a little imperfect. Why not? Um, Life isn't perfect. And when we strive so hard to make everything perfect, which is what I used to do, we end up hurting ourselves. We end up becoming more frustrated. And I knew an artist who she just stopped creating art because she said, I just like things to be so perfect. And I thought, I didn't say anything, but I just thought, oh, that breaks my heart because she's never going to, I mean, maybe she will later on in life, I don't know, but will she get back to ever painting again? Because she's put so much pressure on herself or has created such a high standard for herself that it's preventing her from getting back to the easel and painting again. And her paintings were beautiful and very detail oriented, very perfect in many ways. And I kind of wanted to sit her down and just have her splatter art, like not art, but colors, paint everywhere on a canvas. And I have my students do that. I teach a messy art class with little kids, and I always encourage them to get their hands messy and to just create whatever comes from their heart and not to be so focused on the details or the perfection of whatever they're creating. And when I give them that permission to do that, the things these kids create, it's just so amazing. It's so beautiful. And I wish more adults were that way. And they gave themselves permission to just be and to make the imperfection and find the beauty in that. So I hope that this podcast has helped you and has inspired you. And I'm happy that I got to come back and start doing these again. Hopefully, I'll have more guests on soon. and wishing you a wonderful day. You could see more of my work and get some more inspiration on my Instagram at CherylBenji_art. And you could also, again, go on my Facebook group, the Creative Spirits group, and please follow, join us. And it's a beautiful group. And I also have a website at CherylBenji.com. And if you ever need a creative coach, please DM me and I would love to help you out to get through those blocks and to create something magical for yourself. Have a wonderful day and hope to see you back soon. Bye.